Fishing Gurus is brought to you in association with Daiwa.
Hello and welcome to Fishing Gurus. My name's Dean Macy and we're still here at Brook Hall just outside Tiptree in Essex, run by Colchester Angling Preservation Society. Today is the second and final leg of the Carp versus Match Challenge. Yesterday was a barnstormer, so let's have a recap.
With revenge the focus of the game, the Carp boys came out fighting. But the Match boys countered in Guru style and punched hard and heavy to storm into what looked like an unassailable lead. Out of nowhere, the Carp boys did the unthinkable, and in the cold, early spring weather, they fetched for the floaters. As the buoyant biscuits graced the surface film, so did the eager Carp's mouths. The wily big carp man, Damian Clarke, produced a flurry of hard-fighting surface-caught carp that had the Match boys in tatters. With the young dove from above adding to the tally, the unthinkable comeback was now a reality. The team take a slender £5 lead into day two with a bucket load of momentum.
I think it's going to be close. Obviously they think they've got the best swim, so it's all to play for. We've got a lot of room, so hopefully we can draw a few fish.
I was quite pleased in the morning, went really well, everything went to plan. Lost that one fish which did cost us. In the afternoon we went to bits really. You've got more fish moving through here, up there sorry, but this end's sort of more holding area, so I'm pretty confident in keeping it today. It's very close, we're going to fish quite negative today, just catch what we can.
It's not over till the fat lady sings.
You'll be a brave man to call it. Who will win the battle of nerves, tactics and angling prowess?
Yeah, revenge is sweet.
Steve, the match has been going about 10 minutes. You came into today with about a £5 deficit, and that has got to be, well, all square.
I reckon it's all square and a little bit ahead.
Tom, I've just seen Steve put one back,
Yeah.
which basically overturned the deficit, and you're straight in.
Yeah.
You guys ain't going down without a fight, are you?
Definitely not, definitely not. We've got a few going on the surface now, so hopefully we can keep them there, but the cloud's coming over now as well, which isn't good for it.
Yeah, we had a lot of rain, and cold rain last night as well when we left, packed up filming.
Yeah.
It was absolutely chucking it down. So I've got to be honest, I'm surprised you got them up on the surface this morning anyway, but you just got to make the most of it while they're here, aren't you?
Most definitely, yeah. I mean, it only took 10 or 15 minutes to get them going. It took a while to get that bite, so really I should have caught two in the time I've caught this one, but what can you do?
Have you got a plan B? Are you getting any areas going on the bottom? Because you've done really well over a small spotty area yesterday, didn't you?
I've done exactly the same, yeah. Over
Right.
the far margin there's a reed bed, and I've got halfway down there, I've just got a little spotted area. I've got that rod on it there, so if the weather does change, I've got a backup.
Nice one.
Which is handy.
Well, it looks like at the moment, while the weather is holding up, everyone's having a go on the top. The Match boys have got them going down there.
Yeah.
And that's a good fish, mate. That is worth two fish. I don't want to put the pressure on, mate, but that is very good. The average stamp yesterday was about
£5.
£5 to £7, something like that. Yeah, but that looks like a barney.
Come on.
That's a good one, mate. That is two fish if it lands in the net. Yes. Good lad.
Nice one.
Carp boys are back in the lead. Well done, I'll leave you to it.
Thanks, mate.
Damian, about 5 minutes ago I thought it was going to be more active in Tom's swim, and now it seems to be alive in yours.
Yeah, they're like piranhas out here, but they're proving quite tricky to catch. It's taken a long time to catch this one in relative terms, so I'm going to just scale down a bit, you know.
Really?
Reduce the hook size, reduce the line size, and see if I can get bites a bit quicker.
Well, we'll have a little look at the gear that you set up in a minute, but mate, that's, well, they all count. Put it that way, it's not the biggest, but they do all count. Well done.
Cheers.
said earlier on you was going to fish a slightly negative match. I just watched you drop with the pole. I mean, how far out you fishing? 14 and a half metres?
Yeah, about 14 and a half, mate.
I just watched you drop a mixer on a carp's nose. I saw its pecs flare. I saw it come up and nab it like it was absolutely perfect. I didn't call that, I wouldn't call that negative or boring. That was awesome.
No, well, you know, we couldn't beat them yesterday doing it, so we've had to join them. Basically what we're doing is we're fishing the method, feeding floaters, waiting for the fish to come. As soon as the fish coming up and there's a few competing, straight off, pole, length of line, big mixer on the nose.
Did you not think that the pole, you know, bearing in mind the fish are on the surface, did you not think the pole being over their heads almost was going to spook them?
Well, what we've tried to do is try to fish a long line, so we're fishing 6 foot of line,
right,
and we're flicking the bait out to them, so hopefully they can't see nothing. And they seem to be better fish as well, you know, we're having some decent ones, just struggling here with the room we've got in this little peg.
Yeah.
With the reeds and stuff.
Actually, I'm looking over my right-hand shoulder. I think Steve's in as well, exactly the same method, exactly the same time. So, you know, Tom's had a 14, which was a big fish, and you guys just seem to be absolutely blitzing it. As long as this sun stays out, this could be a massacre, mate. Well, I said yesterday was a barnstormer. Steve, how big's that one?
17.4.
Adam?
15.4.
What you got to say to the carp boys? Because they're the ones supposed to be catching the big fish.
Well, we've had a good start, so let's see if we can continue.
Absolutely. Those carp boys are definitely up against it. So Tom, your fortunes changed in the first half of the match yesterday when you started throwing floaters out.
Yeah.
You had all your bites on the bottom,
I did,
but Damo had some great success with some slightly bigger fish on the top.
Yeah.
Talk us through the setup he was using.
Right, okay, so it's a pretty bog standard. It's a flat lying surface controller like so. Just this part will sit out the water like that.
Okay.
You've got 3 parts to it, just the tube at the back that you put on first, and then this is the interchangeable part here.
Right.
And you can slide the line through there and change depending on how far you've got to cast.
Yeah.
And then your size 11 ring swivel just fits in the front there into the little rubber that pushes into the main body.
And that looks like it's got like a bolt effect, so there's no need to strike or anything like that. It does it all for you pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually the reason why I've got an oversized float really today.
Right.
I don't need to cast that far, but they hook better basically.
Right, okay. What about the hook link? What's the material and how long?
Hook link, I've got about 5-6 foot I suppose of engage.
Right.
7 pound.
Is that normally standard? The longer hook link, the better? Because a lot of the fish have been coming up and nudging the float, haven't they?
They have, yeah. To be honest, I'm not really scared of this one. It's the right colour. But usually I'll try and keep it as far away from the float as I can.
Right, okay.
If I'm fishing a long way out, I'll cut the hook link down a little bit, but generally 6-7 foot.
Superb, nice one. What about the hook bait and the hook?
Hook bait's just a cell pop-up that I've cut down to look like a pellet. It looks the sort of same shape.
Fooled me, I
size.
thought it was a pellet.
Yeah, exactly. Size 12 mixer hook,
right,
and then I've just put a little bit of silicone over the eye there to make sure that the line comes out at the right angle.
Superb, and you have no hook balls. I mean, that looks like a very standard, very simple floater setup.
It is, yeah.
And in truth, I mean, certainly looking at the catch rate that Damian had yesterday and what you guys have had today, I think every fish hooked has been in the net, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to go too complicated with it. It's more about the feeding with floater fishing, like it is on the bottom, I suppose, but get them feeding right and you can catch them.
And is that a method and a tactic that you'd use anywhere, take anywhere? Because I noticed actually when you started getting them up on the surface yesterday, you both went straight back to the car, you got your float rods out there, out the boot, so are they always in there?
Yeah, no, from March onwards, from March 8 we should have your float rod in the car because opportunities arise and you can have a really good day's fishing.
Well, let's hope it continues for you. Good luck, mate.
Nice one, mate, thanks.
Fishing Gurus is brought to you in association with Daiwa.
Now, Steve, I know you weren't impressed with the carp boys fishing the floaters yesterday, but in truth, you have succumbed to the dark side today, and it has changed your fortunes big time, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've had to. It's not in our matches. It's not allowed, as I pointed out yesterday. But if you want to win, that's what you've got to do. And we've started on the floaters. It's given us a good start. So hopefully we can get a few more fish later on if they do come back up, and we've got a chance of winning.
And you've had big fish today as well, haven't you, on the top?
Yeah, I've had a 17.4, which, looking at the size of the fish we caught yesterday, is 4 fish.
Yeah.
So if they catch small fish like we did down in the rushes, then it gives that 17 is a massive bonus.
I've just seen Tom's rig, which looks very, very simple, but yours is even simpler, and it doesn't get much easier to tie up, does it?
No, literally, I've set 16 metres of pole up. The way I'm fishing it is I'm feeding some small floating pellets.
Right,
with
okay.
Odd dog biscuit mixed in.
Right.
And I'm just waiting until I see a fish feeding. Then when I see a fish feeding, I'm shipping out. I've got 4 metres of line, or top 4 worth of lines.
Yeah.
The key is to keep the pole away from the fish.
So what's that, sort of 8, it's probably 10 foot actually,
Yeah.
10 foot of line?
Yeah, you don't want to drop
Yeah.
the pole on top of the fish because it'll spook them.
Yeah.
So I've got top 4 worth of line, 0.22 engage,
Right.
and I've got a size 18 MWG hook.
Right, what's the 0.22 in old money?
About £9.
Right, okay, so you're not, you know, I mean, you're not finessing anything up, you're
No,
going for it.
The only thing I'm finessing is like a very small hook for a dog biscuit.
Yeah.
You can just see it there, little 18, so the bait looks as natural as possible.
Right.
Then I've got a bait band and just bait band in a chum mixer. So
Right,
as you say, it couldn't get any easier.
And keeping that nice and tight to the shank so that obviously when they come up, it nails them straight in the lip.
Yeah, you know, I think I've just missed a couple, so. But like earlier
Didn't want to
on,
mention
they
that,
were
mate. I was trying to
taking
make
it
you look good.
They were taking it really confident. There's actually
Yeah,
one
they
out
were.
there now taking it quite confident as
Yeah,
well.
see, what you're looking for on the surface is competition, and over the last couple of minutes you've been fishing for a single fish, which,
Yeah.
you know, there is no competition, so they can be as wary as possible. I mean, this looks absolutely faultless until they get out of that comfortable 14, 15, 16 metre range, and then obviously you're a little bit limited, aren't you?
Yeah, you are. Yeah, and some waters they just won't come near the pole. Today, like when I've got one up feeding, get it confident.
Yeah.
That long line, you've got a chance of catching it.
Right.
But it is literally like just odd fish now, and as you said, you need competition, like 2 or 3 fish.
Yeah.
And then you've got a chance of catching it. When you're trying to dob one, it's very difficult.
Well, I've just seen a fish out there, and I know you've spotted it as well, so give it a go, and I wish you luck.
Cheers.
So, Damo, it's nice to see one in the net, but it's been really slow over the last 90 minutes,
Yeah,
hasn't
it's been really slow. It's like the lake's just shut down.
it? Yeah, the match guys down the other end are really struggling as well. They've had one, but their stamp seems to be slightly bigger than your ones
Yeah.
up here.
Much bigger. I mean, ours are really small, 5-6 pounder, so they've had a few good fish, haven't they? 17, I think, the biggest.
Yeah, they had a
3 of
17
these.
and a 15 in the space of about 5 minutes, so that
Yeah.
one hurt you.
Bit of a struggle, to be honest. But in the last sort of 10 minutes, I've managed to get the fish going again on the surface, so this is the first of hopefully a few more.
Good, right, well, let's get a weight on it, because every ounce counts. Let's have a look, turn it around to the camera so you see it. That is £5. If it stays still. Come on, Litland, we'll put you back, be a star. 5.13, yep, 5.13, so every ounce counts, mate.
It does at the moment.
well, you've got a couple of hours left
Yep.
actually, so there's still plenty of time, and I think it went through a lull yesterday, didn't it, as well?
It
And then
did,
you
yeah.
started
I mean,
picking up.
that's, you get it on every lake, it's always the same. But, you know, there's a few fish moving now, so we'll get some more bait out and see what happens.
Well, good lad, get
Cheers.
back out there.
Thank you.
So Damian, you was the one that got on the floaters yesterday, and to be honest, the match boys have got on them today, and so have you, and it seems to dominate the match at the moment. Tell us how you start feeding, because it's not a case of just polting them out left, right and centre, is it? There's a little bit of tact to it.
A little bit of finesse, yeah. I mean, basically, we put probably 5 or 6 patchfuls out to start with.
Right.
Try and get the fish feeding. Try and get them into a frenzy. So we wouldn't cast the rigs out until the fish were really feeding, pack-manning. You know, you see them going from bait
Yeah.
to bait. Once they're doing that, they're much easier to catch. So then we would cast into the swim.
And do you have like a set little routine, so it's like normally 20, 25 minutes, half an hour, or do you just let the carp tell you how it's done?
Just let the fish tell you. If they're feeding, they're getting into a frenzy, then cast over the top of them, well past them, draw the bait back into them on the edge of the, you know, the baited area, and then just start from there.
Right, what are you using today for bait as well? Because you can use floating pellets, chum mixers, cat food. I mean, there's
You
an
can use
endless
anything.
range, really.
Yeah, you
isn't
can
there?
use anything. The things we're using today, they're just a mix of maybe 10 and 6 mil pellets.
Right, so varying the size.
Varying the size makes it a bit easier for us. I mean, if you use them too small and use all small baits, they can get a bit preoccupied on them,
Right.
and it makes it difficult to present a hook bait.
Right, now we've already seen the rig. Tom talked us through the rig. Talk us through the hardware that you're using, because it's specially designed, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a 12-foot, 2¼ floater rod. It's got a through action, so it's
Right.
really soft, so you can go down on hook length, breaking strain, little tiny hooks. You're not going to pull the hook, you know, with a stiff rod.
Right.
So this is ideal. I'm using a little tiny reel. I've got a braid with a nylon leader, which is about 7 or 8 pounds,
Right,
which
okay.
is 2 rod lengths attached to the 20-pound braid. Obviously, the braid floats,
Yeah.
so it's, you know, sitting on top of the water. You can cast a lot further with a smaller float. It's more more finesse in the fishing. So,
Right, yeah. Is it heart in the mouth stuff when you're playing them as well, though?
Not really.
Initially?
I mean, when you've got a nice soft rod, it
Right.
doesn't make any difference.
Superb.
But you've got instant contact. You know, when you've got a big bow in your line, it's really important.
Yeah, and the wind's been playing quite a big factor, actually, isn't it? Because it's not been blowing into your face or ideally over your shoulder. It's either left or right on this
Yeah.
little long lake.
Well, break can be good, but in conditions like that, it can be bad because you
Yeah.
can end up with a massive bow in your line.
Right.
Then maybe we'd go to like a floating nylon on those conditions. But most of the time, I just use this, and it lasts for years. You know, a spool of that would last 3 or 4 years.
Right. And so what sort of size fish would you use this sort of gear for?
I've caught fish over £30 on this gear.
Have you really?
Yep.
And it's perfect for the little ones. Well, I
Yeah.
say little ones. The boys down the other end have had some pretty big fish, actually, haven't they? But you've had fish from 4 to 30 pounds, so it ticks every box, really.
does,
And it
mate,
never
yeah.
leaves your van, really.
No, always have it in the van. Mixers, don't cost anything. Little bag of gear, hooks, floats. You know, you can have it all the time.
And just lastly, did you expect the floating to dominate this match quite the way it has? Because I mean, I've got to be honest, my hands are freezing cold. It might look nice and warm on camera, but it's not that warm at all.
By the end of yesterday, we knew floaters were going to be the way
Right.
we were going to try and catch, win or catch up with the other guys if they had a good day.
Right, well, it's about 90 minutes to go, an hour or something like that. And as it stands, I think they've just pipped you to the post at the moment, so I think you better get a move on, mate.
Yeah, well, crack on.
Good lad. Well, Steve, I know you weren't impressed with the floating baits yesterday, but your fortune has completely changed because of them. There's fish everywhere.
Yeah, there's a few fish here now. The wind's turned around from yesterday.
Yeah.
It blew up to the top end where Damian and Tom are today, and it obviously held some fish there. And today it's pushed the other way, and the fish are just coming with it.
I've noticed what you're doing. You're sitting there for a couple of minutes with your pole in your hand, ready to go, and then when one comes into range or a couple into range, you're going for them straight away. And
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, once that pellet lands on the surface, they either have it within 5 seconds or they don't.
Yeah. The key is not to hold your pole out there waiting for them to appear.
Yeah.
Because they won't, because the pole will spook them. But as soon as you see one, ship out as quick as you can and just try and drop it right on its nose.
And have you seen any big uns? Because let's face it, you've had a 17, you've had a few other doubles as well. You've got 4 to put on the leaderboard as we speak.
See, there's been a lot of fish, a lot of big dark shapes. We saw one that came up in front of Adam that we thought might have been 20 plus.
Really? You've got dead on half an hour to go. Oh, so close. You were saying earlier, Steve, that holding that 17.5 metres of pole out there for a couple of minutes at a time is heavy. I mean, with a double figure fish on the end, try and describe to the viewers what it's like.
It's heavy.
I mean, you're no small man, are you? I mean, you're a bit of a lump, let's face it, and I'm putting that politely. And I've seen you, the veins in your head poking out and your face going red several times today.
It's because you're flicking the rig as well, and that's where... Here we come, he's coming.
Go on,
There
second
we
time
are.
of asking. You need a bigger net, mate, but that is in just about.
Oh, sorry,
I'll tell
mate.
you what I'll do. I'll help you with the weighing because it might take a couple of people on that one. Good man.
It's £10 plus, I think.
So, Tom,
Yeah.
hard 48 hours of fishing, mate. You pleased with your own performance?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was good. I expected more from today, but it wasn't as good down that far end as I thought it was going to be. The wind changed at the end of the day. Didn't really get as much out of it as I thought, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
Damo, you was the man that actually sort of sussed out the winning method, if you like, because fishing on the surface has really dominated over the last sort of 2/3 of the match anyway. Are you pleased with the team's performance?
Yeah, we fished hard. I think we did as well as we could under the circumstances. The weather changed, fish came up this end. We did as well as we could have expected, I think.
So, Adam, first experience of the Carp versus Match Challenge. Have you enjoyed it?
Really enjoyed it, yeah. It's been good fun, lots of banter and plenty of fish caught. Very
Well,
good.
you couldn't have had a much more experienced captain in Steve. Are you pleased with the way it's actually turned out? Because, in truth, today, you was on fire.
I wasn't happy yesterday because we lost on the day.
That was obvious.
But today we had a change of tactics. The pole was a real masterstroke for us because it's allowed us to virtually put the bait in the fish's mouth, and it's a presentation that you can't match with any other technique. So that sort of has got us right back into it.
I've got to be honest, when you said to us at the start you was going to fish pole, we all scratched our head and thought it wasn't going to work. But hey, how wrong can some people be? So guys, I know you've been chewing me ear off over the last 5 minutes to find out the results, and it was very, very close up until the last couple of hours. We've got a 299 pound 1 ounce versus a 210 pound 4 ounce in favour of
Match guys,
Yes.
Adam and Steve, well done, fantastic performance. Tom and Damo, better luck next time.
Cheers.
Well, that's the first 2 shows of this series of Fishing Gurus. Don't forget to tune into the next one. But before we go, let's have a look at some of the very best bits of the carp versus match competition. But if you're going to get the rods out in the near future, remember, enjoy your fishing.
Hello and welcome to a brand new series of Fishing Gurus. I give you the Carp versus Match Challenge, Part 2.
Steve, Adam's just put a fish back and you're straight into one. Are you going to give the carp boys a battering again? Tom, you carp boys just don't know when to lie down and take it, do you?
Yeah, revenge is sweet.
It's not over till the fat lady sings.
Fishing Gurus is brought to you in association with Daiwa.